We have to protect all men in America, especially all white men in America. Those are the boys that we care about in this country.
She looked straight into the camera and said it like it was some huge victory speech or something. Crazy timing for a moment that was already all over the place. That one phrase, white face of comedians dressing up in whiteface, practically handed Druski an easy win without him even needing to show up. Meanwhile, the internet went wild, and the skit exploded to a massive 183 million views. The president reportedly told her to sue him, and that's when things got even crazier.
One morning, I wake up to a new headline lying about me.
Druski fired back in the most unexpected way possible, casually popping up to announce he was hosting the BET Awards like none of the drama could touch him. But the part everybody keeps overlooking is this. When Erika Kirk tried to clap back, she didn't really hit Druski at all. She ended up putting the spotlight right back on herself, and the whole internet watched it unfold in real time on her own timeline.
Comedians dressing up in whiteface.
If you really want to understand why Erika Kirk's response turned into such a brutal self-own, you have to look at what she walked into. Druski didn't create the chaos. He saw the moment heating up, grabbed the mirror, and reflected it right back to 183 million people. Now, rewind for a second. Charlie, the founder of Turning Point USA, has always been one of the most divisive conservative figures in America. Some people supported him heavily, others absolutely rejected him. That's just how politics looked in 2025.
Please welcome Turning Point USA CEO and Chair, Erika Kirk.
Welcome. Look at this crowd.
But after everything shifted, the energy around it got strange fast. Erika stepped into the spotlight like the next chapter was already planned out. Interviews, major appearances, the CEO title, a book deal, and then those dramatic entrances. Please welcome Turning Point USA CEO and Chair, Erika Kirk. Welcome. And honestly, that was the exact moment the internet seemed to make up its mind. Because when somebody walks out with dramatic music and pyrotechnics while also pushing the image of a grieving widow turned CEO, people online are not exactly rushing to give sympathy. They're getting ready to turn the whole thing into comedy.
We have to protect all men in America, especially all white men in America. Those are the boys that we care about in this country.
And that comedian was Druski. He dropped a skit called How Conservative Women in America Act, and the clip spread everywhere fast. Druski's style has always been sharp character comedy, exaggerated personalities, super detailed mannerisms, and lines that instantly click with viewers. But this time, people immediately started asking, wait, who is this supposed to be? The makeup, the voice, the energy, even the tiny phrases sounded way too familiar to ignore.
I have comedians dressing up in whiteface. Realized through all of this, truly, having lived through quite literal hell these past 7 months, if you strip someone of their humanity long enough, you will arrive at the chilling conclusion that they don't deserve to exist at all.
And the reason it landed so hard is because Erika Kirk didn't vaguely hint at those lines or almost say them. She said them word for word in an actual public speech. So when a comedian repeats your exact quotes back with perfect timing and a straight face, people online don't see that as defamation. They see it as somebody holding up a mirror. The skit pulled an insane 1.2 million likes and a staggering 183 million views on Twitter alone.
I want to know why the decision was made to Charlie Kirk, a decision that very clearly had to be approved by Charlie's friends.
That's way past regular viral status. It turned into one of those massive cultural moments that people could not stop reposting, debating, and reacting to online. Then somehow the situation got even stranger. During an official press conference in Holy Week, Donald reportedly looked directly at Erika Kirk and told her multiple times to sue Druski. Just imagine how wild that looked to people watching. The President of the United States standing at a podium and sounding like her personal cheerleader over a comedy skit. But instead of calming the situation down, it did the exact opposite. It sent one loud message across the internet. This comedy skit had reached the highest level of political attention possible, and that only made the clip spread even faster. Every major institution that got involved with this story somehow made it even bigger. The more serious the response became, the more attention the whole situation pulled online. And the craziest part is, Erika Kirk had plenty of options. She could have ignored it completely. She could have laughed along with it. She could have just let the internet move on naturally. But after staying quiet for weeks, she finally addressed everything on her own show, in her own space, and head on. And somehow that decision handed Druski another easy win without him even needing to respond. The speech was clearly meant to make her seem more relatable and human. Instead, it instantly became the next huge wave of internet content. And honestly, it started before she even spoke, because the outfit alone became a trending topic. Half the internet joked that she looked like an Imperial officer from Star Wars, while somebody else compared it to Janet Jackson's Rhythm Nation, like people were waiting for a full choreographed performance to suddenly begin. Candace Owens, who by this point was basically living in Erika's mentions, looked almost excited, and the memes started spreading fast. Instead of calming the drama down, that outfit added a whole new mess to a situation that was already spinning out. It gave the internet at least 10 more angles to clown, remix, and argue over. And the wildest part? The outfit still wasn't even the biggest problem. I have comedians dressing up in whiteface, chic whiteface. And that one word blew the whole conversation wide open. Because whiteface and blackface are not the same thing. They do not carry the same history. They do not come from the same place. So acting like they are equal is not just a weak comparison. It is the kind of take that gets people from every side jumping in. What started as celebrity satire suddenly turned into a bigger debate about false comparisons, and Erika ended up standing on the rough side of that conversation. And here's the part that really says a lot about that speech. She never actually said Druski was wrong. Think about that for a second. If the skit was inaccurate, that is the first thing you say. You point to the exact parts he missed, call out the details, and shut it down right there. You explain exactly what he twisted or got wrong, but she never really did that because people online felt like she couldn't. When viewers placed Druski's skits side by side with her real stage entrances, the similarities looked way too close for comfort. Honestly, some people joked they could barely tell which clips were parody and which ones were real. And the situation didn't stop there. Just days after the skit exploded online, she appeared at another event doing the exact same style entrance. Same pyrotechnics, same dramatic music, same larger-than-life energy. Instead of moving past the parody, every new appearance seemed to reinforce it even more. Each time it happened, the internet treated it like another episode of the same joke, and the cycle just kept growing. Without even trying to, she kept giving the parody fresh momentum over and over again. And now, Candace Owens becomes a huge part of why this whole story refuses to cool down. Candace and Charlie used to be close, but after his passing, Candace did not publicly rally around Erika. She went in the complete opposite direction, and she made sure people noticed it. That's when the whole situation started getting even more intense online. Now here's where things became legally complicated. Candace Owens has not directly stated on record that Erika Kirk harmed her husband. Instead, what people noticed was a pattern of implication. She would raise leading questions, point toward what she described as suspicious timing, and stack details together in a way that pushed viewers towards certain conclusions. Then she would step back and frame it as, "I'm just asking questions." That approach is not accidental. It creates distance from making a direct accusation while still encouraging the audience to connect dots on their own. And once people online start doing that, the conversation spreads incredibly fast without needing much extra push. At the same time, some of those YouTube thumbnails circulating online became extremely controversial. Edited images of Erika appeared everywhere. Screenshots spread across social media, and the line between normal public commentary and content that could create serious legal issues started looking more blurry by the day. But none of that was fully addressed in Erika's speech. She mentioned Candace by name and said the accusations were false, but she never really broke the claims down step by step or directly dismantled them in detail. Most of the speech focused on how hurt and frustrated she felt, and online critics quickly argued that emotion alone was not the same thing as a solid rebuttal. So while all this chaos was exploding across social media, what did Druski do? Pretty much nothing at all. No long statement, no emotional video, no angry Twitter thread, no back and forth arguments. He just kept posting, normally kept reposting people laughing at the skit, and then casually revealed he would be hosting the 2026 BET Awards. A massive career moment. Right in the middle of one of the biggest controversies attached to his name. And honestly, that silence may have been the coldest move possible. Because the quieter he stayed, the louder everybody else looked. The internet already understood the joke, so every new response only dragged more attention back to it. That's the tricky part with comedy online. The second someone publicly fights back against a parody, many viewers take that as proof the joke landed hard. Every speech, every interview, and every public reaction Erika gave ended up keeping the skit alive longer, even though people online believed it probably would have faded much faster if nobody kept feeding the conversation. Druski understood the internet game completely. Erika didn't seem to catch it the same way. He never had to jump online and defend the skit because her repeated stage entrances at Turning Point events basically kept reinforcing the parody for him. While Erika was dealing with PR problems, legal conversations, and an outfit controversy that trended for days straight, Druski was quietly stacking huge career wins. And the backlash didn't hit him the way some people expected. If anything, it introduced him to massive new audiences who had never even heard of him before. That silence was not him hiding from the situation. People online saw it as calculated positioning. He understood something a lot of critics missed. In the attention economy, the person reacting the most often ends up losing control of the narrative. But when you really break everything down, this story was never only about the skit. Underneath the parody, the speech, the outfit drama, and the white face debate, the bigger issue became credibility. And according to critics online, questions around Erika Kirk's credibility were already building long before Druski posted anything. She had reportedly said she had never dated anyone before Charlie, but later, internet users started digging into her past and discussing previous relationships they claimed contradicted that image. She also claimed she didn't drink or party, but then old reality show clips started resurfacing online that seemed to show something completely different. On their own, those clips were not necessarily some massive scandal. But once people began stacking everything together, critics started saying it looked like a carefully polished public image that didn't fully line up with real life. To a lot of viewers online, it started feeling less like a natural personality and more like a media-ready persona built for cameras and big stages. And once the internet gets curious, people start checking receipts fast. Then came the hand gesture. Yeah, the exact one Druski was sure to imitate in the skit. Critics argued it didn't really match the traditional values, God-first image she publicly promoted. Whether it was intentional, misunderstood, or simply a careless moment, people noticed it immediately, and the conversation around authenticity only got louder. And that became the core issue for many viewers. The version of Erika Kirk being presented publicly started feeling overly managed to some audiences instead of fully genuine. The hard reality is that Erika Kirk stepped into one of the biggest media spotlights in conservative politics right after her husband's passing, and the audience reaction was intense from the start. The PR around Erika has looked shaky for a while now. The optics stayed rough, the public statements kept sparking more backlash, and every attempt to calm things down seemed to create another wave of debate online. And the biggest question people kept asking was not just coming from trolls or Druski fans either. Even some people who genuinely supported Charlie started wondering, who exactly is this for? Charlie's movement was built around Charlie himself, his personality, his debate style, his way of connecting with younger conservatives, and the energy he brought into every room. That kind of connection is hard to duplicate. You can continue a mission, but you cannot simply inherit somebody's personality. And according to critics online, every attempt to position Erika as the direct continuation of that legacy only made things feel more forced and uncomfortable to certain audiences. Now zoom all the way out and look at how unbelievable this entire chain of events became. A comedian posts one parody skit, then 183 million people watch it. The President of the United States reportedly tells a guest at a press conference to sue the comedian. The comedian casually responds by announcing he's hosting the BET Awards. Then the person being parodied gives a speech in an outfit that trends online for days, calls the parody whiteface, and later appears at another event using the same dramatic pyrotechnics the skit was mocking in the first place. The PR around Erika has continued looking rough, and every public response seemed to create even more debate online. The optics stayed messy, the statements kept backfiring, and the question people kept repeating was not just coming from trolls or Druski fans. Even some longtime Charlie supporters started asking, who exactly is this supposed to connect with? Charlie's entire movement was built around Charlie himself, his personality, his confidence, his debate style, and the specific way he connected with young conservatives. That kind of presence does not automatically transfer to somebody else. You can continue a platform, but you cannot inherit someone's personal connection with an audience. And according to critics online, every attempt to frame Erika as the direct continuation of that legacy only made things feel more staged and uncomfortable. Now, really zoom out and look at how insane this whole chain of events became. A comedian uploads one parody skit, then 183 million people watch it. The President of the United States reportedly tells a guest at a press conference to sue the comedian. The comedian casually responds by announcing he's hosting the BET Awards. Then the person featured in the parody delivers a public speech in an outfit that trends online for 3 straight days, calls the skit whiteface, and later appears at another event using the same dramatic pyrotechnics the parody was making fun of. Druski ended up catching a huge public win without even saying a single word, and honestly, that may be the part that hit the hardest for people watching online. When there are speeches, legal discussions, non-stop headlines, and political attention all focused on one comedian. And the comedian still stays quiet. The original skit stops being the biggest joke, At that point, the reactions become the main event. And the internet absolutely loves that kind of chaos because every response creates another meme, another debate, and another viral clip. Critics online argued that Erika had multiple chances to let the situation cool off naturally, but instead, every new appearance seemed to pull more attention back to the parody. Meanwhile, Druski barely had to participate at all, and that silence became part of the story itself. Drop your thoughts in the comments. Was Erika's response understandable, or did the reaction end up making the whole situation even bigger? And if you want to see how Druski played this from the very beginning, check out the next video waiting for you right there. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and send this to somebody who stays tapped into internet drama and viral moments.